Hello again. I'm going to go through what I went through in my last video, but people wrote in and said that that dough I used looked a little bit kind of on the drier side for our stuff. And it honestly was. I had used a non-commercial flour, so today I've got one that's particularly wet. It's nearing the end of its lifespan in the refrigerator, and it's pretty wet. You see some liquid is collected, and it's very sloppy, and I want you to see that it's just as easy to do this as it is slightly drier stuff. So, sprinkle a little flour on top. You're not going to work that in. Just going to make it easier to handle that sloppy. See all that liquid in there? And again, cut off a piece. Can you see that? Cut off a piece. A little awkward tilting it towards you. And now have flour ready. Drop it into that flour. You could do it right in this, but I'm doing it on a little board I'm going to work on. You see how wet that is? You don't want to accidentally get a blob of flour in there and then close it up. So let it drop off and then close it up. Okay, so this is pretty wet and sloppy. But I can do the exact same thing. Drop a bunch of flour on top of it. Don't work it in, but bring the top around to the bottom on 4 sides. And you can get this to look like a pretty nice and cohesive ball. Now I'm going to roll this out because I need to make pita bread for lunch. So I'm going to quick do that. You've seen that before. It's the same beginning as pizza. You roll it out. In order to get it to puff, all you need to do is get it to 1/8 of an inch thick. And I do a combination of fingers and rolling pin. In the third book, which is all going to be on pizza and flatbread, we're going to get into this in much more detail. But this is just from the first 2 books. And we kind of spread it out with fingers. I certainly don't have it at 1/8 of an inch now. Depends how long we want this video to be. Use gravity like this to let it hang. Get your hands underneath, using your knuckles kind of like that. Kind of spread it. And if you get a hole, just pinch it together. It doesn't matter. I don't think I'm going to get a hole with this one. This, by the way, is the peasant bread from the first book. But it's made with all rye and white. There's no whole wheat in this. It's just whole rye and white, and it's probably 70% white. We'll also put a link in the post here so you can see a little bit about that. So, and it's getting bigger. There's a little hole. Perfect. I have a chance to show you how to patch it. Just go like that. And especially if you're using a rolling pin. And this is about set. It's about 1/8 of an inch. And make sure it's still moving around on that pizza peel. And you know that when you get to the oven, it's going to be able to be slid right off. And I'm not going to show you that. You can imagine. It'll look like this. Ta-da! Thanks.